Hello, everyone. This is a message from the great beyond. You have been abducted by aliens, and they have brought you to what? A podcast? This podcast.
I'm just gonna let you go. Go off, Queen. Go off.
This podcast is the Society of Scares, and now you have to listen as part of an alien examination. I feel
so
like
scared.
I sound like I've forgotten every word until the word comes out of my mouth. So I haven't been cut off yet. Normally in this one I have.
I'm just gonna let you go.
And oh shoot, I'm introing the podcast. It looks like so in this alien abduction, because I've set the stage for that. Welcome. It is me.
Do you need me to help you?
No, I got this. Hi, I'm Annabelle.
Okay, we're being serious now. Okay.
Now I'm ending the bit because I've run out of things.
Steam.
Yeah, I just let her go off on her tangent. I was like, you know what?
Let's see where she goes.
Let's see how this ends. But
Yeah.
it ended well. Yeah. All right. Well,
There we go. That was my intro.
what is up, everybody? Welcome back to our podcast. We are the Society of Scares. My name is Leo,
I'm Annabelle.
and
And I'm Ellie.
we got a lovely producer back there. You can't see her, but you
Hello.
can hear her. She is your conscience. And on today's episode, we're gonna talk about aliens, as you heard in the first 17 hours of this podcast.
This is going to be a little different than our last episode. It's not going to be research heavy. It's just going to be us just sort of like talking, get to know us a little better.
Talking about aliens.
Yeah. I don't know. What was the first like alien themed horror movie that you guys have ever seen?
It's a good question. Who wants to go first?
So my first horror movie was an alien horror movie, and it was the movie Dark Skies. Came out in 2013, and it has a very good quote at the beginning, which I feel like summarizes the fear of aliens. It's from, Arthur C. Carter. I wrote it down and I didn't save it, and I'm messing up. Oh no.
Oh no.
I have it pulled up.
Okay. It's okay.
Uh,
People love to see our face. Well, they can't see your face. They can
yeah, they
hear
can't
you.
see my face, so it's just, yeah. Okay, there we go. Arthur C. Clarke, the beginning of this, like, very, like, it's just vibes horror movie. Like,
Nice.
it is
We love
truly,
vibes.
it is not groundbreaking. It's very, like, haunted house format, but aliens. It was a good first horror movie, and I rewatched it in preparation for this episode, and I had a great time. But Arthur C. Clarke once said, 2 possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying.
Sick.
Which is just a great way to talk about the fear of aliens. Do y'all believe in aliens?
I do. I have a crazy conspiracy about aliens. Like, I can talk about this for hours.
I do believe in aliens. I don't know if they've come to Earth, but in the past year, there's been a lot of weird stuff that I feel like has been released out there in the world that I truly, it's made me question a lot of. I don't think they've come to Earth. I think there's something, I don't know.
The government apparently keeps releasing evidence that it's real. Have I looked at it? No. So I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But frankly, my life hasn't changed. That's kind of how I feel, where it's like, also, the universe is so fucking giant. The fact that we're the only sentient beings, life forms in the entire universe, how self-centered are you? Like, for me, that's how I feel. For people who don't believe in aliens. Luckily, we're in good company.
My
Yes.
favorite take is, so there's a podcast I love called Midnight Burger that's about, they basically are in a diner that travels through space, and in it there is this intergalactic empire called the Teds. And the Teds keep Earth as it is and keep Earth from knowing that like other alien life forms exist, because it makes for great reality TV content for the other galaxies.
Oh, they're enjoying this year already, for sure.
So, like, every time something, like, terrible happens, because, hello, 2025 has been, what a...
It's only January, and it feels like we've been in this month for, like,
You
years.
can't
But
see
every
me
time
right
something
now, but I'm
happens, I'm like-
dissociating.
I bet the Teds are... I bet the people in the Ted Empire planted this and are loving it.
Yeah.
It's genuinely a great podcast. It's really funny.
Yeah, for those who are not from this planet, January of this year has been hell. especially if you live in LA,
Yeah.
because we got caught on fire, winds, and who knows what else. You know, my generation has been through two wars, terrorist attacks, depressions, recessions, a pandemic, and fires.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot.
And you just went through a birthday.
Oh yeah, it's my
Happy
birthday, guys.
birthday.
Thank you very much. Me and Annabelle and the whole crew went to go celebrate, and let's just say that I'm feeling
The after effects.
the after effects. Yeah, yeah, yeah. yeah.
And my dog sprained her leg this morning,
Aw.
guys. So that's why, if you're wondering why you're not seeing a cute little fluffy head pop up, Rosie sprained her leg, and
She's on drugs.
I totally panicked, and I was like, oh my god, her leg's broken, and it's gonna have to get amputated. So I took her to the vet.
It looked that bad.
Well, here's the thing: is she's a rescue,
Oh, you did mention
and
this.
so she had a plate in her leg that we had put in because the previous people, so the puppy mill she was from, did a botched surgery on that leg. And so we did an experimental surgery to get a plate put in her leg because it was either that or amputation. And then she'd broken her leg again below the plate because it was like experimental and there was always the risk of that. And she did end up breaking her leg again. So this morning I saw her limping like that, I was like, oh my god, last time she was limping like that, she had re-broken the leg. It's already now broken like twice or more in her life. And I was like, and because she's had so many issues with that leg, there's always the risk that it'll need to get amputated. So as soon as I saw her limping, I went, oh fuck. And I was like, oh fuck. So I immediately didn't even I was like, work can deal. And I called my mom. I was like, I'm going to the vet. I was going to emergency vet. She sent my mom. Honestly, shout out to my mom. She's been my superhero today.
We love moms. Shout out, mom.
Because I was just like, I'm gonna call it from work. My mom's like, no, don't. She's like, I'm not doing anything today. I'll meet you at the vet. I'll handle it. And so she met me at the vet, and she sent me the emergency vet we went to, and she handled everything. And then
Aw.
I came and picked up Rosie from and brought her home. But Rosie's doing okay. She's just sleeping off the meds, and I didn't want to bring her because I thought this would be too much excitement for her. And she's not supposed to jump on and off things, and I feel like she'd be constantly trying to jump on and off that couch.
She'd be standing. She'd be doing her. No one
Yeah.
can see me, but she'd be standing on her hind legs.
Aw.
She very much likes to hop around on her hind legs, which is a miniature poodle thing. But yeah, that's why there's no Rosie here. Sorry to be a downer in the beginning of the episode. She's doing okay though.
Yeah,
she's fine.
She's doing
Guys,
great. She's like,
it's just a sprain. She'll be fine in like a week.
she'll be great. She'll be kicking. Well, not really kicking. You know what I mean.
Well, she will be kicking in a week. That's actually the point. Her leg will be okay.
Yeah, we love Rosie. Shout out to Rosie.
How did we get on this?
Just a general update. We were like, it's Leo's birthday, and then we were also like, also Rosie's not here, so it was like
Yeah.
personal update time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personal update time. It was my birthday.
So you and Rosie are both feeling a little rough today.
I'll be okay tomorrow. Rosie's probably still needs to heal and.
Listen, she's vibing on whatever I've been giving her.
I mean, I was about to say that dog's probably high as a kite, but
Living her best
yeah,
life.
she's living her best life. Feeling a little jealous.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, guys. I just want to put it out there physically. No broken legs, no sprains, no hangover. I did not drink that much last night.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember what happened last night. Ha! Did it really happen? JK, guys, I did not black out.
Have you ever?
No, I've never blacked out.
Oh.
Even the last time, there was this moment that somehow I got crossfaded in Florida, and even when I was super crossfaded, and guys, I hate edibles. Just put it out there.
You just
I
haven't
still
had the
remember
right ones yet.
everything. That's what they keep on saying, but I've tried other ones, and I just can't.
That's fair. That's
But
fine.
but if you can do it, good for you. Cause I mean,
You have to start low, and because I have a low.
well, that was my
tolerance.
mistake. I started with like a very high dosage.
Oh,
didn't
God,
know,
no.
and then
Yeah.
I was just drinking whiskey for the rest of the night.
Oh,
So first time you were like, let's mix brown liquor.
I
and a
felt like
high
I was
milligram
unstoppable. I was like, like I'm from LA. Like this is in my blood. You know, I was born and raised in
No.
LA, and I was drinking whiskey. Jim Beam, please never give me Jim Beam. I can never drink Jim Beam after that night.
really?
Yeah, that's the thing that messed me up. And I got really crossfaded, and it was on one of my best friend's weddings, and they had to take care of me because I was my body just shut down, and I couldn't see. My eyes were hurting, so I had my eyes closed. But I remember hearing everything and everything that happened. I remember every conversation.
Whoa.
But
Well,
I
you
didn't-
also
I didn't
have an
black out.
insane memory.
Yeah.
That is true. It's just creepy how good my memory is. But no, I think to this day I never blacked out.
Whoa. Me neither. Although trying to
This big.
trying to bring it back to the topic at hand.
Well, the blackout of forgetting or not remembering or remembering alien
That
abductions.
is exactly what I was trying to bring it
Yeah,
back around.
buddy.
See, we're all on the same wavelength.
That's
In
beautiful.
reality, we were just really drunk, so we saw aliens. JK. Or maybe aliens were giving us booze.
That's it.
Booze
That's
alien.
All I can
it.
think about is the SNL sketch where Kate McKinnon is like, she's smoking that cigarette. Have y'all seen that sketch?
Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah.
gosh!
Okay,
yes.
She's so me. I know if I got adopted,
That'll be you.
that would be me. Like,
awesome.
like,
Awesome.
I know I wouldn't. It would end up being some weird, extra weird shit, and I wouldn't talk to any government official about it properly. I don't know if I could. I have spoken to a government official before, and I definitely flirted with him over the
wild.
phone. I don't know if I
spoken-
can give many details because he was doing on a podcast. But yeah, I definitely wasn't supposed to flirt with him because it was an interview about something, and I did.
I was in a government
Oh, I
facility
remember the
once.
story.
Yeah.
I was in a government facility, and I was in high school. We were using like the forensics lab there, and they were like letting us use the equipment, and they were being very kind. And I almost said out loud, good enough for government work."
That's how our podcast got shut down. JK. FBI is gonna go through these doors. Well, awesome. So, guys, I'm dying. Let's go back to our movies.
So
Like,
alien
Yeah.
movies.
Yes.
First alien movie. Mine was
Yeah.
Dark Skies. What
All
about
right.
y'all?
My first alien movie, I had to look it up just to make sure, but it does exist and it's real. Independence Day with Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum.
100% that's a real movie.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like I just want to make sure I got the name right and all that stuff. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies I've seen. Very action heavy, especially when you're like 4 years old. The movie comes out, you're like action aliens. But I think it's a great alien movie. The fact it takes place in LA, so I remember. I'm like, oh, that can happen to us. So for a couple of years, I was like looking at the sky. I was like, all right, there's nothing here. Yeah, but I
Yet.
do believe Will Smith. Yeah, but I was like, well, if something happens, Will Smith is gonna come out and save ourselves, save all of us. So I think that was my first alien movie.
I don't think so. Mine wasn't a movie, but the most distinct memory I have involving being scared and like aliens was there was a Scooby Doo episode where I feel like we're gonna end up mentioning Scooby Doo in every
Yeah,
single.
Scooby Doo
society
is a
episode.
sacred text, and
Yes.
it deserves
Yes.
all its accolades.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
remember the episode with there was this hippie girl called Crystal.
Wait, I know
If she
exactly.
turns
it was the
into an
movie
alien.
and the golden retriever dog, and
Oh, is it a movie? Then
well,
yes, yes.
yeah, because Shaggy and her and the dog and Scooby and the dog, they all got married, and they had and they had the wedding, and I remember the wedding was covered with flowers.
Yeah, and then she ended up being an alien, and it freaked me out.
She was like, "I have to
Because
go
I
back to
was
my
then-
home planet."
'Cause as a
Bye.
child, I saw that and I was like, "Oh my god, there are aliens walking among us." I was like, there are just women and dogs out there who could
Only
just
women and only dogs.
who could turn into aliens. But I'm sure like you guys had this when you like watch something a little too young and you're like, this
Yeah,
could happen.
Yeah, your imagination just goes wild.
Yeah, I just got it like freaked me out, and I was just like, she seems so pretty and cool,
Yeah.
and she could abduct me into space.
Your mind just went to like crazy reality.
I was like, not even cool women are safe.
That's just extra. That's extra fun.
Yeah, not even golden retrievers.
you looked at golden retrievers
Golden
differently for the rest of your
retrievers.
life.
After that movie, I went every single
watching
golden
you.
retriever.
I'm watching you. That's crazy.
But I mean, I think probably Alien though was the first like legit like alien horror movie I ever
Alien?
saw. Yeah, Alien, the classic Alien.
Great movie.
So,
My girl Sigourney
funny
Weaver.
story.
What's up?
I swore I had seen Alien before, but I was like, let me rewatch it in preparation for this episode.
Is that one of the movies you were talking about?
Yeah, I had never
Okay.
seen Alien before. I claim to be like a fan of horror movies. I just had never seen Alien before. I was like, how?
Or
I
have you seen any of the Alien movies?
Nope.
So
I'd seen Alien Romulus recently.
Yeah, I
And now I
saw
understand.
that recently too. Sorry.
That one is good. I will say I probably would have understood it and appreciated.
if you knew the
Yeah, if I had known that I actually hadn't seen the first movie, but I kind of like Mandela affected myself into believing that I had
Nice.
seen it. I will say, hot take: Alien's a good movie, and hot take: fuck that science robot. That was one of the
Oh,
things. I was so mad the entire movie I couldn't be scared. I could only feel I could only
really?
feel one at one point, and I was so mad at that scientist for not listening to Ridley. Ah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was so mad. I cannot express the anger.
I can't wait to hear the comments or read the comment section about this hot take.
Because
But yeah, I love
No,
this.
the hot take that Alien's a good movie.
Yeah. No, no, that you. What? Alien.
I really enjoyed it. I did actually get scared, but like I was
Leo,
angry.
I'm telling you right. The thing you're kicking right now is my chair, and it is.
Am I moving you
rotating.
around? I'm so sorry.
You were spitting me.
So you saw Aliens?
No, Alien, like
Yeah,
the first
one. Yeah.
The first one that I thought I had seen, the classic horror movie
Yeah.
that I claim to be like a fan of
And
the
your
genre.
hot take is it is a good
Yeah,
movie. No,
it's
it is a good movie. It's a great
That's
movie.
it's sarcasm because I'm
Oh,
so
I was about to say. I was like,
I'm so late to the party. That's my hot take
Oh.
is that I'm behind.
oh no, it is.
It's me attempting to make a joke at my expense.
That is Alien is.
It's a great movie.
I think the first three Aliens are really good, even though people don't like Alien 3 as much. But also like the prequels, like Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and now Romulus. I think those are great movies too.
Romulus was a
Wait,
good time.
maybe I didn't see Romulus. I saw
Romulus is the most recent one. It's the one that's in red, and the
The
poster
facehugger.
is the
This
face
one.
hugger.
Okay, I saw the one recently where it's maybe yes, where it's like the tall guy who's like super like Slender Man esque, but like an alien.
I think that's Romulus.
Maybe that is that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happens in the end? Remember, they crossbred the human DNA,
Yes, that's the one.
and that's when that big tall
And I really wanted to watch it because
NBA player that actually casted that like the basketball
Yes.
player. Yeah,
No,
that's
that is
Romulus.
exactly the one. And I watched it for that exact reason because
Yeah.
I love practical effects, and I got so excited when I saw that they like literally cast someone
Yeah,
to play a
basketball
monster
player. Yeah.
because like a basketball player to play a tall monster. I was like, hell
I
yeah!
see Ellie like struggling over there. What happened? Did you
Because
not
no,
watch it or
because
what?
no, I did
Oh,
watch it, but my
yeah.
memory is clearly such shit that I can't remember.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, both
Yeah,
of you.
I trust-
Both of you are right.
I
Both of you are
trust
right.
y'all's memory more than I trust my own, so
Both
I
of you are
believe
right.
y'all. But this is just me having an existential crisis.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I thought that was I like Romulus.
Yeah, well, Romulus has really amazing special effects because it's all practical. Well, at least the most practicals are the practicals. Obviously, they have some CGI stuff.
I love those aliens. Look so just. They look so gushy. I just wanted to sink my teeth into them.
you
And
wanted to bite them.
You will melt
Oh,
your
not
face off.
not eat them.
Well, if you
just
make them
bite them.
bleed, you're gonna melt your face off.
Oh,
'cause
and
the blood
I
is
had
acidic.
weird,
That's a
and I
future
had
me
weird
problem.
takes last.
That's
last
a future me
episode.
problem. No, and for the alien Romulus, I did love the face huggers. Like they actually use like some practical effects, and you see these things just running on the floor. I thought it was
Oh,
great.
the
So
water
good.
too.
Great.
When they were in, that was the worst. The water.
Oh.
Great cinematography too. Even when they jumped
Ooh,
on that one
yeah.
guy, and then you see like I guess the mouth trying to go into his mouth. That was a great scene. I was like, I think this movie answered a lot of questions like, oh, how does the facehugger implant all this stuff? Even though there's people that broke it down, but you actually see it, and the guy's just fighting with this weird looking thing coming out of the bottom of this facehugger going into his mouth. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
good stuff.
I know. I thought it was. Yes, all that. The water scene. Any kind of horror scene where you can't see what's attacking, like underwater, and you're in like shin deep water, will get me. It's so easy. Like any scene where it's like you see characters wading through water, and the water's dark. I'm like, it could be nothing, but I will be scared. It's just that level of unknown. Will always freak
I
me
feel
out.
you.
Always.
Feel you.
So yeah,
It's
that was
creepy.
one of the reasons why I was like, oh, this like Alien was good because even though the alien creature like insanely impressive and insanely intimidating, daunting, like horrifying looking, like the original Alien.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the original Alien. The one of the things that I think made that movie so scary was that they didn't linger on much. Like when I was watching it, I was really surprised by how quick all of the moments like where the alien appeared were. It's like they really don't. I mean, this was something that like the director of like The Ring found out later, where it's like if you don't spend a lot of time on something, your brain doesn't really get to process it, and so if you cut to something like really quickly, then it's like, oh my god. So I think they were kind of early using that technique of just not really like lingering and showing it for that long. Like the most we see the alien in full its full beauty is that very end scene. And at that moment, you've seen all the damage it's done, and you are just like, you're like, please, 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 please. And so I think that makes up for a lot of the terror
Hmm.
that could have been, like, that I don't think would have been lost or sacrificed if you had shown how freaking
Yeah.
amazing the alien looked. But it was either some decision, some choice made it that the alien was invisible for most of the movie, except for in really quick flashes. And I think that was like an amazing decision.
No, it's great. You know what other movie did that? Jaws.
Yeah,
Where you
because the shark animatronic wasn't
it
working.
sucked. So the editor, well, apparently that movie, like the editor saved that movie because it had so many bad um, scenes because the freaking Jaws, the
Bruce.
animatronic wasn't
The
Bruce wasn't working well.
Oh, that's why yeah, I was like that.
That
That's why
is
Brucey in Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
I kept my mouth shut. I let the
Don't
I
worry,
see
got
I
you.
see Annabelle wants to spew out some shark facts right
No,
now.
I am not going to though. I am not going to.
You can do at least one a podcast episode. We talked about
I
this
know,
last night.
but we have a whole rest of the episode still to
That
go.
that is true.
I
That is
don't
true.
know if I want to like throw away my card right at the beginning. The thing I sort of, while we were still talking about Alien Romulus, I wanted to sort of like ask you guys your thoughts on the title. Like, because I was like, when I watched it, Romulus and like Remus, I think.
About the founders of Rome, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
founders
yeah.
of Rome. So I was like watching it, trying to figure out what the
The name.
connection would be. My only thought was that because it was like the birth of like a new alien,
Hmm.
maybe that was sort of.
I think that's so. If we, I like deep diving into all this stuff. So, so it's funny because pretty much if you watch, have y'all seen Prometheus?
I
Like
haven't.
the first
Nope.
prequel movie. So Prometheus talks about how there's these people, there's these big they're called engineers. These really big looking humanoid aliens, you can call them, but they look nothing like the xenomorph. So they drink this black goo that breaks down their DNA. They kind of have to sacrifice themselves. So they drink it, breaks down their DNA. That's how we were created. So we came from them. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So going to Romulus now, you have seen many types of xenomorphs renditions throughout like all these movies. So you have, anyways, those just if you just Google alien renditions or whatever, you'll see them. So come fast forward to Alien Romulus. This mega tall humanoid is like the next evolution of a xenomorph, and it was kind of created by accident because this girl was sick, or she wasn't sick, she was pregnant,
Mhm.
right? But she was dying, and this goo, pretty much fixes you. It's like it makes you perfect. But little did it know it morphed with the baby. Nobody knew that, and the baby became this huge, crazy alien. So this tall humanoid, whatever, I think there's a name for it. I remember. Is apparently much bigger, better, and stronger than the xenomorph. With in the horror movie world, the xenomorph is considered the perfect monster.
And then you have the Alien versus Predator,
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
speaking of another Alien franchise, the Predator series. I haven't seen the Predator series, but the movie Prey, which is
Oh, I
in the
know.
that
Yeah.
one is a great
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So good. Like it's one of the first movies to like center around it's one of the first movies to have a Comanche dub, and like it stars like a lot of like native people,
Hmm.
like mainly Comanche people. It is such a good movie, such a good movie. Also like edge of my seat the entire time.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I think they're making a sequel to it, right?
They
Or
better be. That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
I think there's a movie that follows up to that storyline coming out really, really soon. But I was gonna get to Predator right now, so
Yeah.
because it all ties into this. So Romulus is pretty much the birth of this new generation or era of what is an alien that we've never seen in the last 40, 50 years. Now my thing is that this crazy perfect human being now or perfect alien, I just feel like this is the beginning of like a different storyline that Alien is gonna branch into, because the Ridley Scott, the creator of the Alien franchise, I think he has one more prequel he's gonna make, and from there on, it's like where do we go from here? Because there's three prequels. There's the main timeline, and Romulus I think fits between movie one and movie two, the original one. So that's a Romulus timeline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
so there is
yeah.
some,
Because I was wondering why there was so much references to the first one
Yeah,
specifically.
Because it takes place right after the first one,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. Because
Oh, that's why. So yeah, I would have definitely appreciated it, understanding who the
exactly.
science guy,
Yeah,
that bitch robot.
yeah, that motherfucker. But yes, yes, I think Alien. People are like, oh, it's not a good movie. It's like, no, you have to. These are the movies you do have to think a little. Like, you have to sit down, break it down, title, the name of the title, the name of the movie. Sorry, the title, and then break down everything else. So yeah, sorry, then I go to my tangent. But to get to Alien versus Predator and Predator, I love the Predator movies. I think that's one of my first movies I saw because my dad's a big like action hero guy. So
Mhm.
he grew up on Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. Anyways, if your dad was like big in the '80s, like if he was like 30 in the '80s or in the '90s, you know what I'm talking about. So one of the first movies I saw with my dad was Predator,
Mm.
which was with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator, and you just see this big muscle guy just trying to fight this Predator, and it's so awesome. And then Alien Predator 2 takes place in Los Angeles, so I remember watching that too. And then when Alien Predator came out, I was like, wow, this is a good movie. Even though I felt like it wasn't executed well, but the concept and the story of like these predators came and planted their vision about all this stuff over humans, and they're pretty much like we serve them as well. But then also the aliens, the xenomorphs of the movie Aliens created us. So now I understand why they're battling all this time, because one created us, the other one used us as slaves. So it's just a crazy like it's a lot. I know, but it's that's why I love these like Alien and Predator movies.
No, this was a good topic then. I am glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
it
I,
up.
I literally it was a memory that Ellie just unlocked when she mentioned Predators. Like, oh yeah, Predators is such a great thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rewatched Prey in preparation for this, and my roommate was like, "Isn't your podcast about horror? Why are you watching a Predator movie?" And I was like, "It's an excuse to watch a good movie, like
Yeah.
and Aliens. It is, it's just such yeah, like I may go home and rewatch it right after this podcast
I'm gonna
because
watch it again tonight. Actually,
it
pray.
is like just good film, and also because here's something that while I was watching Dark Skies, there's basically two types of alien movies that I feel like there are the alien movies where you're like the protagonists are on Earth and the aliens are coming down to Earth and disrupting our way of life, or we're in space, we're in their domain, and there's nowhere to escape.
Yeah.
And I especially with watching Dark Skies, there is just a lot of weird xenophobic American type vibes. But Dark Skies, literally the opening montage is just look how great the suburbs are. That's like the whole like American flags everywhere, and it's like it's I choose to view it as camp because it's not extreme enough that it ruined the movie, but I will say it was like husband and wife are having financial problems and the kids are da-da-da. Like it's very like American dream is crumbling and also these aliens are trying to steal one of their children. Uh
Mm.
but in like a haunted house format. I it's a I there were some good lines. There was spoilers for Dark Skies from 2013. J.K. Simmons is in it, and
Oh,
he acts his ass off. He's
nice.
great in it, and he plays the person with all the info, and the family comes to being like, "We have aliens, help us!" And he at one point he's talking through it, and the wife goes like, "Why did they choose us? Like, why are they attacking us?" And he goes, "No reason. There is absolutely nothing special about you." And that moment is just so chilling. He also lives in an apartment with like six cats, and the walls are covered in like alien conspiracy theories and missing child posters because the aliens always take a kid and that's when they leave you alone. So that's like the fear is that they're like, "Oh, these aliens are going to take one of our children." They think it's the younger one because the younger one is creepy, as every younger child in a Blumhouse film must be. Uh, but yeah,
What do
this
you
is my rant on Dark Skies.
What do you guys think is scarier in terms of? Because I was thinking about the two different types of alien movies as well. Like, what personally freaks you out more? The movies where it's someone like trapped in space with an unknown entity, or like invasion into like society. Like, which unnerves you
Well,
more?
according to Hollywood theory and concepts and kind of lore, is that if they invade Earth, somehow we always win as humans because we're strong together. So I'm like, yeah, if they invade LA, I'd be like, well, we can fight. We have guns, I guess. But if we go to space, like again, we're creatures. We're not meant to be in space. So it's number one, it's unknown, so we're scared. Number two is like Ellie was saying, that's their terrain, that's their land, that's their home advantage. So if I got stuck in space and somehow there's an alien on this ship that I don't, number one, I've never seen, I don't know how it acts, I don't know how it can see, if it can perceive all this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. So I think if I was, even if I was in the ocean, somehow there's an alien down there,
No.
Well,
I'll be
so
scared too.
it's almost like how sharks are
Oh
scarier
my
in
God.
their habitat.
I set myself up for that one.
You did.
That was my
You
bad.
created the perfect hoop.
I
Now
did.
slam dunk it, Annabelle. What's a shark fact?
Boom. Bull sharks can swim in fresh water, so you might be swimming in a lake and you might be in their territory.
As I was saying before I got really interrupted. Now, I didn't know that bull sharks can
Bull
swim.
sharks can swim in fresh water.
Now here's a question: can they go from salt water to fresh water?
Yeah, they.
Wait,
they're-
how? Hold on. I was asking that to be kind of silly, goofy. How
Yeah.
the fuck do they do
Yeah,
that?
They genuinely. So
they have an on and
they
off gill
pee
switch. They
a
pee
lot, and it means that they could like sort of like monitor the salinity in their like body much better than other sharks and much more efficiently by peeing a lot. But it means that a lot of people like they go swimming in lakes down in the south and they're like we're fine, or like rivers, and it's like we're fine. You don't get sharks in fresh water. Just kidding. One of the most deadly sharks actually can swim in fresh waters.
Ugh.
I do have a shark question very fast.
Go for it.
Okay. They sharks don't really attack humans,
No, they
right?
don't.
They're obviously if you provoke and you're there, you're
You are on the board and you look like a seal because your arms.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's like one of those things where it's like they're apex predators, and at the end of the day, apex predators are going to do what predators do. But like, we don't think of lions as being like man-eater killer animals. We're like they're predators acting as predators do. If you walk into a lion's den and a lion was like, "What the fuck you doing here?" and like killed at you, like you wouldn't be like, "This lion's a monster." You'd be like, "That's a lion doing lion shit."
Yeah.
If you like are in a shark's territory, they don't like, honestly, like great whites don't like people because they we don't have enough calories. We're not dense enough like
Yeah.
calorically, and so no, they don't really like people. But it's a
Nice.
whole. I won't go into
Well,
it. But yeah,
I bring this up is because I was gonna say it's like if I were to see a shark in the ocean, I don't think I'll be that scared
Good for you. I'd be terrified.
because statistically speaking, people don't die.
They don't-
More people die from hippo attacks than shark attacks.
yeah, they don't really want to hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna provoke it and be like, shark." No, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, there's a shark." I'm just gonna swim away or get out of here. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna freak out. But if I do see a hippo, I'm gonna be like, "Y'all."
Oh,
are,
same.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Oh, same.
"Yes," because also, yeah, no. Again, sorry, aliens.
No, but that's I feel like the vibe of this episode. Like
Yeah.
It's just
the last episode was so structured. I feel like we all need like
A little deeper.
like
around.
a little bit of just being able to like go on our fun little tangents.
I love it. This is us every day. A question for both of y'all. What do you guys believe about these? What do you think about these alien abductions? Like, is that real? Are people making the story up? Like, because there's been cases since far back as the beginning of time where people have claimed to be one place, and then all of a sudden they go missing for like 3 days, a week, and their friends and family like, "Hey, where have you been?" It's like, "Oh, I was taking a nap. I was doing something." Like, "You've been gone for a week. Like, what the?" So, what do y'all think? And of course, if we Google, there's probably a bunch of stories, which I have some in mind. But y'all think that's real? It's made up? Somebody's had a crazy demented episode, or
I don't know. Like for me, it's like I don't ever want to accuse someone of lying unless it's like they're clearly profiting off of it. This is like I'll be honest, like aliens is not something that like is like my special interest. Like it's like I like looking at like ghost stories and stuff like that, hauntings, because for me it's like that's what's interesting. For me, it's kind of like why'd they yoink you? And
yoink?
they yoinked you. It's done. I'm really sorry, and I hope you can heal from it. But like, there's not, because then they just drop you back, and it's a very isolating. It's a very isolated and isolating experience. That it's. I kind of feel the same way about it that I feel about like people who claim to be like possessed by demons, where it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this information?
You know, you might not call people liars. I will call people liars. I think there are 100% people just lying out there.
Oh, there are definitely people lying.
I think also there are so many like psychiatric like so many ways in and like yeah, to explain like having memory gaps. And like there are so many different diagnoses that can explain memory gaps, can explain seeing things that are not there, can explain like all of this, that I feel like jumping to it being aliens is like it's a leap. Like that's a choice. I feel like I'm not saying this to invalidate anyone's experiences, cuz like your experiences are valid and your trauma is valid or whatever. But like I just feel like it's insane to immediately jump to what is probably the least likely conclusion. Like isn't there some quote about that?
Like it's like Occam's razor. That's what it is. It's the thing that the simplest solution is the most likely, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Or is that what Occam's razor is?
Sure.
Hold on.
But
Google
yes,
time.
no, I am a strong believer in the most obvious answer is probably the most likely one. And if it's someone's like, "Hey, I had a memory gap and I dreamed about being abducted by aliens," you probably had a dream you were abducted by aliens.
Yeah, some dreams feel real as hell. Also, that is the correct thing. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one. But yeah, there are some dreams where you have them and you're like, I think they were real. I recently dreamed that I watched a whole movie. Do I remember what the movie was? No. But I know it was a real movie, and now it's gone.
But that's also like, to be fair, I've watched whole movies and forgotten it. But
Yeah,
like, that's
clearly, because I forgot the ending of Romulus.
But like that's also the point of like I've done the thing where it's like you've been like I've been like driving and then you miss like the next three exits and you're like, what the fuck?
Wait,
How did
hold
I
up.
get this
Okay.
far down like
I
the
don't.
freeway?
I don't miss X. Okay,
That's just called
so
dissociating,
also,
hun.
also like there's moments though when no, damn.
Oh no.
Whoa.
And I say that from experience.
No, but there
We're
are
in this
moments where
together.
I am driving though, and I do kind of like space out, and somehow I get home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't.
That's just, yeah,
I don't-
that's autopilot.
I was about to say is like autopilot. I do believe that especially like you take the same route, you drive all that stuff.
Yeah.
But hear me out. And I was looking this up right now.
Yeah,
Hear me out. There's a
come
case.
on.
There's a couple of cases, famous cases of people that got abducted by aliens, and they didn't know they were abducted but all of a sudden they have chips, like mysterious chips implanted
Do
in
they
them.
actually?
Well, these are just famous stories. Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay.
All right. Betty Anderson was one of the first people to claim that she was abducted, and then she was like, "Yeah, I got abducted," blah 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 blah, and nobody believed her. And then she's like, "No, they did." It's like because I have this scar, I didn't have it before, and they're like, "You're lying." And then they did tests and everything, and they found there was a chip, so they opened her up and they pulled it out, and there was something in her. So there's this evidence. Again, did she put it in? Did she put it in herself? Did somebody do it? Is this lies? I don't know, but there are cases like this.
Well, then my next question would be like, how was the chip analyzed? Because
For sure, but
Well,
also, hear me out. Hold that thought, because I know I want you to ask that question. If this is super future, crazy, advanced technology, do we even have the technology to analyze these things?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basically trying to say is that were we able to even like comprehend it?
Yeah.
Or because there could be like I feel like we'd be able to tell
If it's
if it's beyond us,
Yeah.
and to the point that it would almost I think it would loop around to being like this is just garbage. Like that chip wouldn't be considered evidence because we'd be like this is just a piece of polymer that we can't that is just nothing.
Well-
and then someday thousands in the future, so like we're not going to be alive to be able to see
Well,
if it's proven or
also,
not.
I also believe that if she or somebody else put it in her and didn't put it right, it can cause an infection. It can cause scar tissue and stuff like that. And
Well, that was
even,
one of the
even,
plot points in Dark Skies. He has a chip
Oh.
behind his ear,
Oh,
and he
I
keeps
haven't seen.
itching it.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie. That's crazy. Well, yeah. So also, I feel like if it was man put or people put or human made and put it in her, the body would reject and all that stuff. But then there's another case with Dorothy Wallace. She claimed that she got implanted by demons and aliens, which is another conspiracy theory. We'll get there about aliens and demons. Where she was feeling sick and stuff like that because her body was rejecting this, and all of a sudden they had to go emergency surgery, and then they like cut her open, I think like underneath here, and then all of a sudden like you had this in your body. He's like, did you put it? It's like, I don't know what that is. And apparently it was just so weird. It was like shining a light, and it was
That
kind
I'd
of
be
like,
more likely to believe, where someone's like, I don't know what's going on. Like that is more like, yeah, maybe you did get yoinked, like for real,
yoinked.
for real.
I love that. We should call this episode the yoink.
The
Yeah,
yoinking.
honestly, the great yoinking.
The
The great yoinking.
Oh my god.
Would you guys want to get yoinked by aliens?
I don't know.
Hello, yes or no? Get yoinked? Don't get yoinked.
We run a poll. Hey guys, so for the audio listeners on Spotify, the poll will be to yoink or not to yoink.
To yoink or not to yoink? That is the question. To quote the great Shakespeare.
Whether 'tis yoinkier in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous Miss Yoink shit. Or take arms against the sea of yoinks. And by opposing, yoink them.
The Yoinkers. We should make a horror movie called The Yoinkers.
Oh my
And everybody's
God.
like, what is this about? And all of a sudden it's about aliens.
You don't
just-
get it.
It's
No.
just Shakespeare.
Oh no! Sorry, I'm looking up some research stuff. I just hear laughing, but
It's just Shakespeare, but we replace it. We replace all the important words with yoink.
Yoink is such a great word. That's why I had to use it, and also because of the tractor beam, it just feels like a
yeah,
yoink.
it goes yoink.
Yeah.
So yeah, so those are my. I just asked because it's easy to be like, oh, science and all this stuff. But if we believe in, like, if people believe in aliens, again, if people believe in a god or a religion, you have to kind of leave science a little bit out
You know
because
what? Yeah, because
because
I was
there's
like,
faith and you have to believe in all that stuff. So sorry, you're gonna say?
well, I was gonna say it was like, oh, like it's really presumptuous to be like, because I literally just said in this episode, it's kind of arrogant to assume that we're the only life, on Earth. Actually, what is the term? It's like the deep forest theory. You finish your thought. I want to look this
Okay,
up, but finish
so
the thing.
so
that you were saying.
as you look that up, I'm gonna segue into what one of the biggest conspiracy theories I have is that I believe that aliens do exist because I again, and this is not to offend anybody, but I'm a man of, I grew up in church. I'm a Christian man. I'm not as the ones you see on YouTube do crazy stuff, but I do believe that if God is real and then there was such a great division in heaven and there is a hell and there's demons and all that stuff, some of these demons that got kicked out of heaven, for those who don't know the story, Lucifer was God's favorite angel and all this stuff, and I can get to theology. There was a division. Lucifer wanted to overtake God. God kicked him out, and the angels and the fallen angels and Lucifer fell down to earth. Now, there's a lot of these angels that didn't make it to earth. They just went into what is the skies, the space. And I've always said I believe aliens are fallen angels, like from the beginning of time. They're fallen angels, and because nobody ever talks about aliens and like, oh yeah, they're dumb and they're lazy and they don't have superpowers or all this stuff. No, every person that talks about aliens.
SNL, except for in the SNL sketch.
Oh,
where,
of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
their little gray dude smacking Kate McKinnon's
I
breasts.
I don't know what it is. I like feel it deep in my soul that like if I ever interacted with an alien, that would be what it would be.
Mine would
like-
be dark skies, profoundly unsettling, and you'd never see me again.
I just feel like I feel like that's what I'd want though. Like I'd feel like deep.
I
Like
don't want that.
no, I'm like if I ever go missing, I want it to be because of aliens. Like I want it to be something cool. But I just know it would be like I'd be walking down the street and it would be like some like 2-foot little like
Little shit waddling across the street.
And he would just kick me in the shins, and I'd be like, God fucking damn it, this is how my Tuesday's gonna go.
Poor aliens. But no, I do believe if there's aliens out there, I do believe. But if there really is, I do feel they're very intelligent and they know what's up. Because number one, in order to survive in what is these outside of Earth atmospheres, crazy. Number two, if they do have chips to implant, crazy, smart, and if they do time travel or interstellar travel, crazy. You know what I mean? So I do
And
believe
if they're yoinking people,
that's
crazy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
Craziest thing
saying.
of all.
Like Yoink. I mean, they have technology, so I do believe that aliens are not dumb. If they're dumb,
Oh,
then
no.
I am upset. I'll be really mad. I'll be like, this whole time we've been looking for you, and you're all dumbasses. Great.
Well, so on the topic of looking for aliens, I looked up what the dark forest theory was because I remembered it one way. It's actually a different way. So it's the idea that someone, Booker's 555 on Reddit has worded it very well. It's simple. Imagine if you were alone at night in a pitch black forest and suddenly you see or hear something in the distance. Would you call would you risk calling out whatever that is, even if it could be dangerous? Or do you just stay quiet in the hopes that it and anything else that might be around doesn't spot you? Now replace pitch black forest with universe. The theory says there could be plenty of aliens out there, but they might be trying to avoid communication with other aliens in case one is hostile, and questions like that idea of like
I like that.
everyone's too scared to speak. I thought the dark forest theory was the idea that there are aliens, like other aliens out there, but there is something about interstellar travel, like traveling between universes, that is so inherently hostile. Like there is something like almost literally like a forest between, even
Hmm.
if the universes are touching and it's like are like the solar systems are like touching and it's very close. There is something that is so hostile about interstellar travel that makes it, even no matter how advanced these species are, they can't get past it because there is something. You can hear the jingling of my bracelet for sure. There is something about it that just is a barrier, like the same way people get lost in the woods, people get lost in space no matter how good. Like sometimes people who are super experienced hikers, which missing 411 is a whole rabbit hole, but there are people who are experienced hikers who just vanish. Like they truly, it's like what happened?
Well, we
You,
have one explanation. It's on this blanket.
Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well,
Oh, there
so
he is.
missing 411, the guy who invented it did believe in Bigfoot. I'm not super familiar with missing 411. I've watched a few videos about it, but it's missing 411 is literally just the term missing. 411 is the police code for information, so it's
Mhm.
the idea of just missing information. And there's one story of a guy who was like an experienced hiker, and he was going on a trip with his buddies. Like they had prepped really well. They had literally like set up. They had like sheds set up so they could store supplies in between points, and then like he dropped something down on the hike and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and grab it, like if I'm not back by tonight, like, oh no, I will be back by tonight, and if I'm not back by tonight, I'll just camp out there, I'll be back in the morning. He was an experienced hiker. He like had been hiking for years. He was not suicidal. He was not like anything that was like, oh, there's a reason why he went missing. He completely disappeared. And then, like, months later, they found his shoes and a half drank Red Bull can. And then that was it. They never found anything else of him. Like,
Whoa.
so that kind of same vibe of no matter how experienced you are, there's something, like, about the universe that can just kind of be a barrier. I'm trying not to say yoink again because I've already used it so much, but just, like, that can block off, or just like the way like we can't really survive in the ocean. Like if you try and just swim down, you'll get crushed by the pressure. There might be just something that like at a certain point
Or
there's a threshold.
here's genuinely something even more terrifying than getting crushed by the pressure if you swim down. There's this thing called oxygen narcosis, which is it affects the nitrogen in your blood. When I was used to do deep diving, this was a very real
think
thing.
I
This is a
know.
very deadly thing. It doesn't kill you. Oxygen narcosis won't kill you. What it does is it messes with your brain and it makes you think you're invincible and it makes you feel drunk and like powerful,
Oh,
and it's like I ended up it turns out personally I'm very good at handling it because it just sort of like it makes you feel a little drunk, but like if you're good at handling yourself, like I sort of was able to sort of rationalize through it. Some people it like just they might just get a little more giggly, but the more extreme it gets, the more like reckless you will get. So I heard one story of like a dive buddy of mine knew a guy who was they were diving over like a 500-foot deep drop, and the guy just started laughing and just went straight down. And if someone starts like swimming straight down, you can't get them because
Yeah.
then you're risking. And then
Your
he
life.
like
Yeah.
just died in like a almost like nitrogen induced manic episode. So they never saw him again. He just disappeared. Other people they'll take out their respirators and try to breathe like water. Like it makes you do
That's
insane things.
crazy.
It like it truly messes with you. Some people will try to just swim straight up to the top, and that's when nitrogen bubbles form in your blood. Or
that's
if
what
you're
I
deep
thought.
enough,
That's
if
what
you're
I thought it was, where your blood basically just boils inside of your
yeah,
body.
or if you're deep enough, I've heard a story of this happening to someone. This was an oxygen narcosis related. Um, they're like their balloon system. They were true deep diving, where it's like you have like a series of like cages going down and everything, and like it snapped and they got shot straight up, and it will separate your skin from your body.
Sick.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Damn.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but no,
God.
oxygen narcosis personally I find to be the most terrifying of all of them because once again, it's not the thing that will kill you, it's the things that will make you do
Yeah.
that will kill you.
Yeah. Damn.
Then like even more that then like what the hell is out in space? Like
Yeah.
Well, I was about to say that. Like, I feel like our bodies are we're just not meant to be in certain places. You know what I mean?
and yet we like to go there.
Yeah. Oh, because we're curious people. We're very
Oh, I
we're curious
miss
creatures.
scuba diving. I still
We're curious creatures. It's funny.
The
It's
idea of
funny
your
enough.
skin getting ripped off, and then it's like, yeah, let's go.
It
Fun-
doesn't get ripped off, it just gets separated from your body. Like
That's
a
ripped
loose
off.
bag.
That's you're just a.
Yoink!
That is the.
you're really gonna get yoinked. That you're really gonna yoink.
That is the ultimate yoink.
That is
no
a real
alien
yoink.
could ever hit that level.
Abduction? Not really. This happening to you? Yes, really.
The only okay, so I will say this relating to aliens: the only sort of alien stories that make me question, maybe they did, are like the Roswell, New Mexico, are like the more recent
Yeah.
things, or the stories from like fighter pilots and like verified UAPs. Those things make question it because I'm like, listen, I feel like, yeah, I feel like anyone can lie about having a cool like people lie about ghost stories. Like anyone can lie about
Yeah.
anything. So many people have undiagnosed mental health things, but like if a fighter pilot is like, no,
Yeah.
this is a genuine UAP, that's when I'm like, all right, if anyone's legit about it.
Again, it's the I don't know what's going on. I'm just here. Like the same thing with the woman who went into surgery, being like, I don't know what that is. It's like someone who didn't go looking for it, who didn't like, guys, I had this thing happen. Look at me. It's more like this, y'all. This thing happened, and I have to report it.
I was talking about when everyone like the whole alien craze was happening a while ago, of like the government released the aliens and UAPs are real.
They've done that like 4 times.
Yeah, but so the most recent one I was talking about with my dad, I was like, my God, the aliens are coming to Earth. This is the worst thing ever. And my dad was like, and I was like, and I was just like, Dad, what about aliens? He's like, go to work and you still have to pay rent. Get over it.
That's
go
yeah.
earn your paycheck. And I'm like, God damn it, you're right.
Exactly. Until it's like that. So a question that you asked forever ago, circling back, are you more afraid of aliens coming to Earth or being in space? I'm more afraid of space because kind of nihilistically, I feel like we've kind of messed up a lot, and maybe we need some outside influence.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I also just like space. Nothing freaks me out. There are a few horror stories that have genuinely like made me like deep bone primal fear, like some space horror stories. One is the Magnus Archives episode called Personal Space. That one scared.
I was about to bring that one up.
That
Sorry,
one
continue.
scares me. That one's just
never,
about.
what is this? A TV show or?
It's a horror podcast. It's like basically it's a fictional horror podcast about the Magnus Institute. They collect paranormal happenings ranging in all forms, and they just like catalog them. And so the podcast is basically the archivist reading out these experiences going back to like the 1500s. They're not real. They're all fictional.
Yeah.
Like 1500s to like present day. And narrator is amazing. Jonathan Sims.
I think that's the actual actor's name as well.
Yeah, it is. Jonathan Sims, he's an amazing voice actor. The music is amazing. They also have the Magnus Protocol, which I think is going to be coming back.
Oh, I haven't watched that one.
I highly recommend it because they play around with the format in a way that's a ton of fun. Really, really good. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, Personal Space, which is just about an astronaut who is left alone in space. Horrifying.
That sounds scary.
They
yeah.
like it's like he participated in an experiment about isolation where they literally isolated him in space.
I just and like that was one where I had to put my phone down. I'd been watching it for like listening to it for like 3 hours straight, and I literally just like sat there.
It got you. It got to you.
It really got to me. So that one, and then there's an r/no sleep story that I recently heard about, and it's I'm an astronaut, and my and
Look it up.
continue talking. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. Look it up.
So
Okay.
I mean, like the other podcast I was thinking about that sort of like touches on the whole isolation in space is the podcast Wolf 359. It's an amazing podcast. I don't know if it's considered horror. There's no like jump scares or anything,
Mhm.
but it's basically this team gets stranded in space and they slowly realize that their kind of the plan was they're just corporate, like very aliens esque, and that theirs are sort of like set up there by a corporation who really just sees them as like expendable.
yeah. The
Um,
real horror is capitalism.
yeah, and it's like the communications director is like the one narrating all of it as he's like sort of sending out these missives.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. The title is "The only other astronaut on this mission died 6 weeks ago, but the computer insists their life signs are still stable." And it's horrifying because basically the astronaut, the like narrator describes, read the story. The narrator describes that the only thing you can really do to make sure that the body to keep the body in its state is you put it in a bag and you attach it to the spaceship outside. So it's outside in the vacuum of space, and the
But
computer's still like,
it's alive.
yeah, hey, that dude's still alive. And then the next thing is that the guy starts hearing just like tapping on the windows from
Oh,
the
no,
outside.
No. Oh, that just
no.
gave me goosebumps.
Oh,
Oh, I want to hear this. Is it a
I will-
podcast?
It's an r/no
Oh,
sleep
put it-
story by
put it-
Christian Wallace. I'll send
put
it to
in our
you.
group. Yeah, I need
I'll
to read
gladly
this.
send it to you.
That's
Also,
it.
if we want to just read it after this podcast is over, I will gladly
Oh,
read it to you because
I-
it's a quick, like, I think it's a good quick read. It is really good. Christian Wallace, I think he's also done some other stuff.
I
He's
love
an
stuff like that, though.
amazing writer.
I love stuff like that.
But yeah, so like the space stories, like genuinely, like
Yeah.
in a way that like is it's like crack. I hate it, but I'm addicted to it.
Psychological horror for me is my thing. It's my thing. Because at that point, like, is the guy hallucinating, or is there something really outside? You know what I mean? Like, or is it an alien, or
You'll
is this
see.
person
I'm sending
that
it
died?
to y'all. We're gonna read it after this
Yeah, let's
podcast
do it.
recording.
I
'Cause
love
I love that stuff.
I love like cosmic horror. I don't want to say Lovecraftian because that guy sucks.
Why?
This one is
What
a
do you do?
very cosmic horror where it's like beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, Lovecraft was so racist
Oh.
that he named his cat a slur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, like worst of the worst. So we don't support Lovecraft on this podcast.
Is it H.P. Lovecraft?
Yeah,
Is that the
H.P.
guy?
Lovecraft.
Oh, so he's a douche?
Yeah.
Obviously worse. Damn.
Yeah,
I just bought like one of his like books.
I mean,
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Long dead.
I didn't know
he's
this.
long
I'm sorry.
dead.
He was like
No, you're
18 or
fine.
1700s. Like here, it's his estate at this point. It's his
Yeah.
descendants. So
Yeah,
he's
didn't-
not profiting. It's
Yeah,
okay.
he's not
Yeah,
profiting off you doing that. And also, I don't know if it's common knowledge that he sucks.
I
And
didn't
he's,
know.
And he's famous in the horror community.
Yeah,
Still
exactly.
to this day. And listen,
So much
he,
horror.
he is the founder of cosmic, of like that sort of like genre. But there are so many amazing authors within cosmic horror, and so many people who work in like the cosmic horror world that like once you know he sucks, it's very easy to avoid him and like consume that sort of horror. Yeah, but I love it. I love the idea of there's like this sort of like vast entity that you were just in somewhere deep in space that you were just powerless to. And I don't love it in the sense that like I don't want it to be real, but that scares me. Like that, like the Magnus Archives has a decent amount of stuff like that.
They do cosmic unknowable horror in a really well because of the way they handle fear. Fascinating. And I keep the fears, the way they separate it, on my phone because I think it's just like the best way. I'm trying not to spoil it for you because it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good. And
Very
I would
different-
say
very different than Welcome to Night Vale.
Got it.
I would
Okay.
say listen to the first episode. If
I'll do
you
it.
don't like the first episode, then
It's not my cup of tea then.
but it's like it's 15 minutes and just the cadence of the guy's voice, the music, delicious.
It's
Chef's kiss.
it's really good.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, man, we've shouted out a lot of podcasts on
I
this
know.
episode.
Hopefully one day people are gonna shout out our podcast.
That'd be so
hope
fun.
so.
Like in a
Oh
couple of
my
years, like
God.
Society of Scares, great podcast.
Hey.
They talk a lot of random stuff, but I love that banter. I want to be there in that room with them.
I want to be in the room where it
happens.
Sorry, we can't sing.
I thought you were about to sing the Pokemon, and then you said room, and I was like Hamilton.
Both of y'all were like, up, wrong,
Wrong,
Alright,
wrong
what's
nerdy
the
thing.
worst horror movie you guys, or
worst
like alien horror movie you've ever seen? Because I have my answer.
You know, no. Let me think before you say yours. Cause I know that.
I've been revving up for this
Let me
moment.
see.
Here's the thing, like because aliens as a concept don't usually scare me, or I'm not drawn to them. Space scares me. Aliens,
All right, let's
'Cause-
do space.
Well, I've already talked about my space scares, which is the Magnus Archives. I really liked Alien.
No, what was the least? What do you like?
the least?
I can. Okay, this isn't a horror movie. This isn't the movie I was planning on talking about. I've mentioned it before to you. Earth Girls Are Easy. What a wild movie. Not a horror movie. Very much about aliens. Jeff Goldblum is in it. Who else? I think Jim Carrey is in it. I'm pretty sure one of the Wayans brothers is in it as well.
What's the name of the movie?
Earth Girls Are Easy. It's not a horror movie. It's just an aliens movie. I'm revving up to my big movie that I want to talk about.
Talk about what you want to talk about, because I don't think I have anything that'll be
Oh,
that
Jim Carrey's in
interesting.
it.
All right. No, I want you
Jimmy
guys to
Brown.
guess. Like,
oh yeah, Damian Wayans in it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't watch much stuff like related to space,
I will
because it's just like, I mean, Midnight Gospel, but that's not bad. That's the thing. All of my stuff is good.
I want
'cause
you guys
I'm
to guess
got
what
good
movie
taste.
I watched this week. It's a terrible 80s
Is it
sci-fi horror movie.
Critters?
No.
Gremlins?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
Those are my only two guesses, so I'm out.
I just gotta get the name.
Or is it? Oh, we were talking about it. The ET, the McDonald's rip off of ET.
Nope. No. I might have gone too obscure. I'm realizing.
Let me see.
Oh,
wait, don't say it. Okay.
I'm not saying.
Let me ask you like three yes or no questions.
Yeah.
Shoot. Is it about a parasite?
No.
Does it have like a like an ET you kind of want to be creature in it, or a robot?
No. No robot.
But yes to the ET wannabe like look-alike kind of.
No.
Okay. Hold up.
You got any questions?
No,
I have one more question left.
No, I've got nothing. I'm waiting for Leo to
Okay, what
get
is
it.
it?
Killer clouds from outer
Oh my
space.
god! That's not an alien movie.
No, it is an alien.
I know it
movie.
is. I'm just being dumb.
I had
yeah.
never seen that, but to
Oh,
me,
I've seen it.
I have not seen it, but
It's-
I heard of it.
It's one of those movies that's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a cult. I don't know why it's a cult classic. Well, I do understand why, but yeah, I think the movie's horrible.
That's why I thought
I
you
think
were
it's a
gonna guess it.
I think it's a bad movie.
That's
Well,
why I gave you guys guesses. I
I-
was like, someone's gonna be like killer clowns from outer space.
no. Well, I don't know. You know, I did. I recently saw a movie in 2020. I remember. I still remember the day I saw it with one of my good friends. It was the same day the Dodgers won the World Series in 2020. I saw it, and look, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I was like, this is a bad movie. Like it
Oh, it's
It
so bad.
kind of sucks.
It
It's so bad, it's good though.
it's so obviously 80s. It's about clowns from outer space, alien clowns that come to Earth and invade Earth
With-
to eat people.
With a K? Killer Clowns with a K?
Yes, correct. And the intro is like killer clowns from outer space. It's like
Crazy.
a song. And they have like deadly cotton candy and like popcorn seed eggs. Alien eggs.
One of the clowns is named Shorty.
Yeah. It's
I'm just on Google.
their spaceship is a circus tent. It is
Oh yeah, and then they put everybody in cotton candy.
Yeah, they put everyone in cotton candy. And that lead guy is so annoying. The main, like, whatever.
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
It's
It's so bad it's good though.
yeah. It's one of those.
Mike Tobacco?
That's very
Is that the
80s.
main character or is that one of the clowns?
No, I'm
No,
pretty sure
that's
that's.
probably one of the main
I
characters.
think Mike's one of the characters.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
because there's Jojo the Clownzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the last one, I think.
That's the last one.
The final boss.
Some people. I'm gonna spoil this movie because God, no
It's
one's
from
gonna watch it.
1988.
Yeah. Some people get eaten by the shadow of a T-Rex.
Oh, that's actually funny. Yeah, I do remember that.
Nosferatu ass.
I literally just saw there's this
Oh my God.
this whole chart that's Killer Clown all variants. I'm gonna put it to you guys so you guys can see it.
Hell.
Send it to us.
Yes. Show me to me, Rachel.
I will say there is one poster for it there's like the regular poster, but then there's another poster which I don't know if it's what it's from, but it's menacing as hell. So I'm gonna send
Put
this
it.
other poster.
Oh yeah, a clown on a tricycle faces off against a biker gang.
Sick.
Like, I'm trying to think about other like weird things that happen in the movie. So much happens. Honestly, the set of inside the circus tent is actually kind of cool, like artistically speaking. That's the one redeeming part about the movie is like I feel like the set design, like the set designers were clearly allowed to just go ham with the painting and stuff, and I think that was kind of fun, and I appreciate that a lot.
That's the thing about like the back in the day, older bad movies, they always have that charm of just like you can tell it was made with hands, with love.
Yeah.
And it's just like that kind of like look is something that just can't be bought. Well, it technically can because they paid. But yeah.
There's a level of charm. There also you can see the seams on the fingers of the clowns. From when they're like wearing these giant fake hands because they're supposed to have monster hands, and you can see like the plastic seam.
There's apparently a multiplayer game based off of
Guys, at some point, what console?
Is it Steam?
let me look. It is Steam. It's
There you
it's a PS5 game.
What?
It's PS5.
Could we do like some
There
like,
is
a
one on
play
like
along?
short like a play along?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's Steam. Hold
Let
on.
us know in the comment section if you want to play along. I mean, we're probably gonna do it anyways, but if you really want it, we can
Yeah,
make it
if-
happen sooner than later.
I'm really bad at video games.
Oh
okay.
my God, it came out June 4th of 2024.
Oh, it just came out.
Like it's new.
What's it called?
Turns
It's
out Killer
literally
Clowns from Outer
Killer
Space.
Clowns from Outer Space, the game with the K.
It's having a reemergence.
Oh, here it is.
What is plan your own alien invasion and harvest humans as the iconic killer clowns, or gather a team of survivors to fight?
Oh yeah, they drink humans out of the cotton candy through silly straws.
I thought you were about to say they drink human pee, and I was so
Me
scared.
too. I was like, whoa.
No, the cotton candy turns humans into liquid, and then they drink that liquid with silly straws.
Slay. Okay, yeah. It's literally you can play as the clowns or you can play as survivors. The recent reviews are mostly positive, and all reviews are mostly positive. It's a survival horror team-based game. It's multiplayer.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a good game. It's 7 out of 10. Crazy. We gotta play this then.
Okay,
I
yeah, we
think we
absolutely.
should.
Oh, I see a T-Rex. I see a shadow T-Rex in the cinematic trailer.
It is truly one of the most unhinged movies I've
Death
ever
is
seen
not the end.
in my entire life, and everyone needs to look up the music from that because it is so. It reminds me of the Weird Science song, except instead
Oh.
of it being like Weird Science, it's like very Oingo Boingo-esque the musical, which I think is very appropriate
For the time.
for the time, but also for a movie about killer clowns. Because Oingo Boingo does give me killer clowns
They look like killer clowns.
vibes. Did you ever hear about their like Halloween concert that they would do in LA?
Oingo Boingo?
Yeah.
No?
My dad, when he was growing up, so my dad grew up here in LA. He said like every Halloween Oingo Boingo would do like a Halloween concert here, which I think is kind of cool.
I think that's dope. Was this like 80s or late 80s, 90s?
Probably, yeah. I mean, had to been 80s because my dad was a teenager in the late 80s.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think so.
We should bring that back.
I agree. I think they wore skeleton costumes, and now I think that is a Phoebe Bridgers thing. Phoebe Bridgers
Oh,
Oingo
yeah.
Boingo collab.
It's crazy. Crazy. Um,
Danny Elfman, make it happen.
Danny Elfman, if you listen to our podcast,
I've sent the Steam link so that someday in the future we can play it.
oh, we're gonna play it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, what if they remade a modern day Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Okay, guys, who would you cast? I know you haven't seen the movie.
Just from vibes alone, it's okay.
Who would you want in the cast of like a 2024 Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
My brain just went to Timothy Chalamet for some reason.
Oh my god, as the lead guy, that character's so annoying to me. I hate that character.
Well, hold on. What are the vibes of the movie? Is he meant to be hot or is he meant to be annoying?
No, he's meant to be hot. You're supposed to find him like kind of like quirky and charismatic and charming, but I don't like him. I just was like he's just being irritating. Bill Skarsgård obviously because
Oh, Bill Skarsgård. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't want to force him to be another clown.
I
because-
would.
He does a great job.
He did it once. He could do it again.
He did a great job. I'm not
That
gonna
was
like,
a pun, by the way. That was an intentional pun.
What?
I said he did it once and he could do it again.
Yay.
Last week we talked about Bill Skarsgård a lot,
We did.
and the
We-
funny thing is like that's all like my FBI agent must have loved what we were talking about because all my like feed on the Instagram and YouTube is vampires and Bill Skarsgård.
Hell yes.
And I then that guy that did the voice of Nosferatu, the guy that's the
Oh,
You
so
must
yeah.
bounce on
I've been
it.
seeing so many, I've been
Crazy
seeing so many
style.
people like stitching the or not stitching but like using the voice dubs for like their own videos and I'm just like Annabelle.
Well, then there's also I took her to my penthouse and I freaked it. I
Now,
spit
my-
everywhere.
all my social medias are flooded with.
Yeah,
with
that's what I'm
You're
saying. Same here, and I'm
welcome.
like, ugh.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Timothy Chalamet, great choice. There's a woman in it. There's like a lead, like there's a love interest girl, and so there's a love triangle. It's very Challengers esque.
Oh, wait,
and
okay.
then it's like her ex boyfriend's a police officer, and then it's like this guy who's kind of a bit of a scoundrel, but he tells terrible jokes. So Timothy Chalamet telling terrible jokes. And then there's this girl in the middle who they're both kind of a little bit fighting over, but then they have to like team up to fight the clowns. So they're like, maybe we should put our romances aside and just work together.
She
It's
has
so
two
80s
hands.
though. God.
She has two hands, and each of them have two hands, so they could each hold a clown while she holds their hands.
Oh, I'm
I'm progressive.
I'm completely moving on from that to say that the only way to kill the clowns in the movie is you have to destroy their nose. You have to pop their nose.
This is true.
Like
This
a
is
balloon.
very, very true. Oh my gosh, Ellie's dying over there.
The nose is the source of all their
If
powers.
we have
so you
any,
just-
if we have any
Honk,
killer
honk.
clowns from outer space listening, Ellie is open-minded for y'all.
Yeah, so I'm just
Yeah, I'm
saying.
here for it.
Maybe
I'm
we
here for a good time, not a long time.
maybe we just cast like the leads from like Challengers, like Zendaya and Cruz.
I was about to say, is I think Zendaya would be a great like love interest in.
That
in
was the
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
Zendaya and Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Make Tom Holland play
or
one of the
Sini
clowns.
Sweetie. We get Sini Sweetie to play the love interest too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
very 2025.
Yeah, I can see. Oh my god, it is 2025. I think I said 2024 multiple times in this episode.
Time isn't real.
What is time?
Well, I feel like that's what.
So I do want to mention this really good. It's actually a space horror movie. I don't think it's aliens, but it does involve space and kind of my concept of like aliens or demons. It's called Event Horizon. It's like a
Event Horizon?
1996, 1998 movie. It's just pretty much the concept. The concept of the movie is like there's this spaceship that went missing, and they don't know what happened to it. All of a sudden, it reappeared, and they send a rescue team to go see what happened. So they go, and it turns out that this spaceship actually went to hell and back.
Whoa.
And then they're trying to figure out why and what happened, and then they're finding all these clues and all this stuff. But there's this scene where, like, the cameras filmed what happened in that spaceship, and you see people being tortured and all that stuff. And then, and then it kind of like the concept of like, can it space traveling? Sure, but does space traveling also take us to different dimensions, being hell? And and I just fell in love with that concept of like, if there's a way we can probably access hell, it could probably be through a random hole in
I
space.
mean, I feel like I just need to die and I'll end up there.
That's where I'm going.
But Lawrence Fishbone, the guy who plays Morpheus in the Matrix.
I think Fishbone's a band.
Hold up, Horizon. Lawrence Fishburne.
All I think about when I hear Fishbone is Jinx from Arcane.
Oh, never played that.
Oh yeah,
I have not
Fishburne.
played
Sam
League of
Neill's in
Legends.
it. It has a good cast, and it's one of those good movies that came out in the '90s, like '97, that still holds up. I say if you want a good scare and like see like what I guess space traveling does and this concept, it's a scary movie. It does give you a little chill, but it's a good like space movie.
No, I think I need like a good space, like old movie. Because I'm gonna be honest, after watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I feel like I need like a palate cleanser.
No, this one's good. This one,
I feel like I need like some like the tongue cleaners.
yeah.
I feel like I
Dude,
need
it's
that
tongue
like taken to my brain.
A tongue scraper.
She needs a brain scraper.
Yeah.
So for anybody watching, if you're not born in the '90s and you're you were born in the last 15, 20 years, Event Horizon, go watch it. It's a good scare. It is very '90s because it came out in '97, but I think it holds up still, and it does involve has thematic things about hell and religion and faith and denying faith and stuff like that. So I think it's a good movie. Good movie.
Huh. All right. A lot of recommendations this episode.
Yeah.
It's so
I feel
fun.
like, yeah, so much homework for the listeners and for me.
Yay.
I feel like.
Nosferatu.
Ooh, was. I was on it.
How are we on time? Do we have anything?
I
other
mean,
points?
it's one. So two things. One, we're at 1 hour 17 minutes in, and
Sounds
two,
about right.
for some reason, I've just noticed this. So I'm so sorry if this does something to the audio. It says fx.mute. The microphone's
Special effects should be muted.
Okay. Oh, okay,
Oh
we're
my
good.
God. Okay, because I
Yeah.
thought it was like muting everything, but like all the sensors are still picking up everything. So I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, no, special effects should be muted. So we
Slay.
should be good.
Yep.
So, I don't
This,
know.
this was a fun episode.
This was a good episode.
Yeah, yeah. We're also very open. If you have any recommendations, put it in the comment section
yeah,
down below.
yeah.
Also, I want to go ghost hunting with y'all one of these days.
Oh, we have to go ghost
I
hunting.
think I know some people who I could get together a crew.
Yeah,
So we could have a team.
I know Ruby would be so down too, and Nick. They're down for spooky stuff. So
I mean, I've had my haunting experiences, and I do kind of actively seek out ghosts. I
Yeah,
am
well,
curious about it.
I would love for us to go ghost hunting. Also, I wouldn't mind like telling ghost stories on like somebody's pad or an abandoned place or something like that,
Ooh,
or
yeah,
camping.
yeah.
I don't mind camping.
Oh, last thing. Any ghost update of The Office? You guys notice anything when I went off? Because I didn't.
When you were gone.
Oh, we haven't mentioned it on this episode when we were like when I was locking up here last time. No, you guys were with me.
no, yeah, I'm just remembering
I
it
don't
and
remember
shivering.
What?
When I was having trouble. So our security.
Oh,
system is
yeah, I remember
motion
now.
Censored, and the motion sensor near the front door kept going off, so I couldn't set the alarm.
Mhm.
But no one was standing next to
No,
the front
but we
door.
all looked over. There was no one standing there.
Yep, I do remember that. I blocked it out because I got scared. I was like,
Yeah, that's our little office ghost
Aw,
update.
does it have
Maybe
a name?
after, at some point, we'll find out a name. But maybe after we record, I kind of want to walk up the stairs and see how I feel. Just test the limits.
Yeah, we can update it the next episode.
Yay!
You can stay down here.
no, I don't like being alone.
Okay,
Well, with that being said,
let's go hunt a ghost.
let's go hunt the ghost.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching today's episode.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching. We are the Society of Scares. We'll see you next episode. And like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all social medias and all that platforms. And we love you, and we'll see you soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.